Have you ever felt that gnawing anxiety when you look at your bank balance, or maybe even avoid looking at it altogether? That used to be me. For years, I was stuck in the paycheck to paycheck cycle, stressed, ashamed, and making every money mistake imaginable. I thought financial freedom was only for people with six-figure salaries, but I was wrong. I figured it out, and I'm here to tell you that you absolutely do not need a massive income to achieve real financial security. What you need is a clear plan, and that's exactly what we're going to build together in the next 6 months. I'm Andrew Meet Rich, and I'm passionate about helping people like you take back control of their money and, frankly, their entire lives. I've been in those shoes, feeling overwhelmed and lost, but I promise you, there's a way out. Today, I'm going to share a simple, month-by-month blueprint that has helped thousands, myself included, go from feeling stuck to building genuine wealth. It's about more than just numbers. It's about transforming your mindset and creating habits that stick. So, if you're ready to finally feel confident about your finances, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive in. Even if today's topic doesn't feel super relevant, the next one could absolutely change your life. Now let's talk about something many of us do without even realizing it, the ostrich effect. Have you ever done a little too much weekend spending, then suddenly found yourself forgetting to check your bank account on Monday? Or maybe a credit card statement arrives and you just don't open it? You tell yourself, if I don't look, the problem isn't real. I used to be a master of this. I'd shove those bills into a drawer, telling myself I'd deal with them later, while a knot of dread tightened in my stomach. The truth is, our brains try to protect us from uncomfortable information, but this avoidance isn't actually protection. It's a slow burn of stress. Those small issues, the ones you avoid facing, they don't just disappear, they snowball. They grow into bigger, more overwhelming problems until you feel completely out of control. It's like trying to navigate a dark room. You stumble and trip because you refuse to turn on the light. But here's the breakthrough. The moment I finally faced my finances head on, everything shifted. That dark room suddenly had a spotlight on it. Anxiety started to melt away, replaced by clarity. The question went from, what huge disaster is coming next, to, what if I could change this? And here's where most people get stuck. So, how do we shine that spotlight? For month one, it's all about ripping off that band-aid and taking full control. No more ostrich effect. The simple action step is to calculate your core 4 numbers. Don't worry, it's not complicated and you don't need a fancy accounting degree. These are the only 4 numbers you truly need to focus on right now. First up, your net income. This is your take-home pay, the money that actually hits your bank account after taxes and deductions. Simple, right? Second, your fundamental expenses. Think rent or mortgage, bills, groceries, transportation, anything absolutely essential for your day-to-day living. Third, think about your future you. This is any money already going towards savings and investments. And finally, your fun spending. This is the money left over for those little pleasures in life that make it all worthwhile. Now, I won't lie, doing this might make you a bit uneasy at first. You might discover you're spending more on dining out than you realized, or that all those subscription services are eating up a significant chunk of your income. I remember seeing my own numbers for the first time and just shaking my head, but this is crucial. Knowledge is power. This foundational step is like getting a clear map of where you are right now. To make it easier, I highly recommend using a simple app or a spreadsheet that does the calculations for you. The last thing you need when you're facing something uncomfortable is a tool that makes it even harder. Less friction is key. All right, once you've got your core 4 numbers locked down, it's time for month 2. This month, your goal is deceptively simple, but incredibly powerful. Save 1 month's worth of your fundamental expenses. If your fundamental costs from month 1 were, say, $2,500, that's your target. I know what you're thinking. Andrew, that sounds like a lot. But trust me, this one step alone will put you into the top percentile of people who truly take control of their money. Many people struggle here, not because they can't cut back, but because their brain actively fights against it. We humans are wired for immediate gratification, and saving often feels like a loss, a deprivation. That's a powerful insight, right? It feels like you're giving something up. But here's the reframe, the mind shift that changed everything for me. You're not depriving yourself, you are buying freedom. For the next month, go all in. Seriously, go through your subscriptions and cancel the ones you barely use. Cook at home instead of eating out. Hit pause on non-essential purchases. Remind yourself this hit you're taking this month is temporary. but the freedom it buys is lasting. If saving that full amount in 1 month feels too aggressive, stretch it to 2 or 3 months. But be honest with yourself. Don't let a stretched timeline become an excuse to keep spending unnecessarily. The faster you build this foundational security, the sooner you break free from that soul-crushing paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Okay, so you've got your financial snapshot and you've started building your freedom fund. Now, month 3 is where we tackle debt and really build your financial shield, your emergency fund. Here's a common trap I fell into: trying to save and pay off debt at the same time. It feels productive, but you often end up spinning your wheels, making slow progress on both fronts. Why? Because we tend to treat all debt as equal, and that's a big mistake. The key insight here is to differentiate your debt. Some debt, like a mortgage or student loans, can be seen as good debt. It helps you acquire assets or invest in your future. But then there's bad debt, the kind that truly stops you from moving forward, like high-interest credit cards or consumer loans. These come with killer interest rates that are bleeding you dry. So, here's the simple action step. Rank your debt by interest rate from highest to lowest. For any debt over 8%, prioritize paying it off ASAP in that order. This is the fastest way out of that interest rate trap. You already know from month 1 how much money you have left after your fundamental expenses. Take as much of that number as possible and channel it directly into paying down that high-interest debt. Once those high-interest debts are cleared, you'll feel a massive weight lift off your shoulders. Instead of continuing to pay down lower-interest debt, shift your focus. Use that freed-up cash to secure your emergency fund, aiming for 3 to 6 months of your fundamental expenses. If you have a stable job, 3 months is a great start. If your income is unpredictable, shoot for 6 months. Don't get stuck here forever, though. An emergency fund is a shield, not a fortress you live in. So, you're chipping away at bad debt and building your emergency fund. Month 4 is where we introduce a game changer: investing, all while you continue to top up the rest of your emergency fund. Many people think investing is complicated, super risky, or something you only do after years of saving. That's a massive misconception that keeps so many of us from building wealth. The powerful insight here is, the sooner you start, the more wealth you'll build. Time is your greatest ally in investing. First, the simplest action step: make sure you're maxing out your employer benefits. If your company offers a retirement match, contribute enough to get every penny of it. This is literally free money, a 100% return on your contributions. Skipping this is leaving money on the table. Next, open a tax-advantaged investment account. This is where you invest, and it matters just as much as what you invest in. In the US, a Roth IRA is a fantastic option. These accounts let you keep more of your hard-earned gains instead of losing them to taxes. Then, keep it super simple. Invest in broad market funds like index funds or ETFs. You don't need to pick individual stocks. Most pros can't consistently beat the market. These funds spread your risk across hundreds or even thousands of companies. For example, the S&P 500 has averaged around 10.5% annual returns over the last 20 years. That's the power of long-term investing. And remember, you don't have to choose between saving and investing. You can do both. Prioritize your emergency fund first, then maybe shift to 70% towards your emergency fund and 30% towards investing, then 50-50. Once your emergency fund is fully built, you can go all in on wealth building. You're always moving forward, building security, and growing wealth at the same time. You're building security, you're investing, you're on a roll. Month 5 is all about accelerating your progress by increasing your income. Here's a truth I learned the hard way. Every job should give you one of two things: a learning opportunity or an earning opportunity. Ideally, you want both, but if you're getting neither, it's time to do something about it. That's the core insight for this month. Your income is your most powerful wealth-building tool. So what's the action step? Either negotiate a pay raise where you are, or start actively exploring better-paying opportunities. In most cases, switching jobs is the fastest way to significantly increase your income. I can tell you from my 9 years in investment banking, the biggest pay jumps I ever saw weren't from staying put, but from making strategic moves. If you feel underpaid or undervalued, don't just wait for your employer to notice. Take the initiative that benefits you. And if a traditional job switch isn't on the cards, or you simply want to try something new, create a side income. Sell a skill you have, start freelancing, monetize a hobby, or build an online income stream. Even an extra $200 or $300 a month can massively speed up your savings and investments. Imagine how much faster you could reach your goals with that extra boost. This isn't just about earning more, it's about valuing your time and skills and ensuring they're compensated fairly. Congratulations, you've made incredible progress. Now for month 6, the secret sauce to making it all stick: automate and optimize. Have you ever heard of decision fatigue? It's a real psychological phenomenon. The more choices we make throughout the day, the worse our decisions become. By the end of the day, our brains are exhausted, and we default to whatever is easiest: skipping the gym, ordering takeout, or you guessed it, ignoring our finances. The powerful insight here is that the secret to financial success isn't heroic discipline. It's removing the need for discipline altogether. So, this month, we're taking 2 key action steps. First, automate your entire money system. Set up direct debits for all your fixed expenses: rent, mortgage, utilities, insurance, debt repayments. This prevents late fees and protects your credit score. Then automate your savings and investments. Schedule automatic transfers to your savings accounts, investment accounts, and retirement fund. You know exactly how much you can allocate now because you've done the work in the previous months. This is about paying yourself first, putting money into your own pocket before paying anyone else. And for your everyday fund spending, use a separate account or card. When the money's gone, it's gone, making budgeting effortless. Second, review and adjust your financial plan regularly. Your financial plan isn't set in stone. Your income changes, expenses shift, and your goals evolve. Continuously check in with yourself. Are your automated savings and investments still aligned with your goals? Has your income increased? If so, can you increase your savings rate? The financial world is constantly evolving, with new opportunities and strategies emerging. The more you educate yourself, the better equipped you'll be to make smart moves. So, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button below. I upload new videos most Sundays, all aimed at helping you take control of your money and ultimately your entire financial life. Look at how far you've come. In just 6 months, you've transformed from feeling overwhelmed to having a clear financial roadmap. You've faced your fears, built a safety net, started investing for your future, boosted your earning power, and automated your entire system. Remember, you didn't need a massive salary to do this. You just needed the right blueprint and the courage to take those first few steps. Don't wait for the perfect moment or for all the stars to align. Start right now with month 1. Small, consistent shifts are what lead to massive, life-changing results. Your financial freedom isn't just a dream. It's a journey you can start today. And who knows, maybe next week we'll dive into the psychological tricks to stay motivated when things get tough. I'll see you then.